The MobTube Chronicles 1 and the MobTube Chronicles 2 are on Amazon and on Amazon Kindle now. Please be sure to get your copies today.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Eric.
And how old are you, Eric?
I'm 37.
And where were you born?
I was born Jacksonville, North Carolina, Onslow Memorial.
Okay. And how would you describe your family, your upbringing, your childhood? Was it good, bad, indifferent?
It was a little bit of good and bad.
Okay. Do you want to elaborate a little bit?
Well,
What were your parents like? Was it a two-parent household or?
for a while, until I was about 7 or 8, we moved from the beach to, my family owned a hotel, and we moved into there when Fran and Bertha took the house. And then we moved on 17 and lived there for, the rest of my childhood. But my father left when I was, 7, 8 years old.
And did you keep in contact with them or?
Well, we got to see him on the weekends, but it was, we actually stopped seeing him there for a while because he got abusive.
He got abusive to you or?
Yes.
The children and?
Well, not all of us, just mostly me, but I was a lot to handle.
Why you? What were you doing?
I'd step in for the other brothers a lot.
Okay. And was he abusive to your mother?
I remember on the beach when we were real young, argues and fights, but I can't say he ever put his hands on her.
Okay. And so what age did you leave home?
Me?
Yeah.
I left home at 15.
15?
Well, 13 for a bit, for about a year, and then I came back and then left home again at 15.
Where did you go at 13?
Believe it or not, we only stayed about 4 miles away from like Holly Ridge, because I stayed on the outskirts. It was about 5 acres back in the woods.
Right.
And I went there.
You stayed in the woods for how long?
No. I stayed in Holly Ridge.
Oh, okay. Who were you staying with at 13?
I always hung out with the older crowd, so I was staying with. They were in their 30s, 34, 35 at the time.
Wow.
It was Danielle, Phil, Wendy.
Did your mother not look for you, or did she know where you were?
She came and grabbed me a few times when I was like on the pier or something like that, fishing. But she'd snag us up and take us back to the house. But then she was working, I think 2 jobs and doing schooling at the same time, trying to put herself through med school.
So how many children were in the house? How many?
5 boys.
5 boys. Wow. Okay. So she had her hands full.
Yes. And we weren't, the sweetest kids.
Oh my goodness. So your time with this older couple, what happened? Why? How did they take a 13-year-old in? No child services. Did child services ever come out there? Or
we had child services involved 2 or 3 times, but they'd come in because I had a big bruise on my face where my father threw a chair and hit me in the face.
Oh my gosh.
And it was a long chair at that, but he caught me a good 20 foot away. But when I went to school, they seen it, and when child services came to the house, my mother and I would get into an argument, or she would say something that would she knew, I don't know, it would fire me up or something, or my little brother, and child services would just leave, everything was fine. 5 boys, she's doing the best she can.
Right.
But
so what happened with this older couple? What?
Well, at 13, I was the same height I was now, 5'9". I hit a growth spurt. Didn't grow anymore, but I was 140 something pounds, benching 235. I didn't quite look like a 13-year-old.
Right.
Yeah.
And
and
how did you survive? How did you pay your way? What was?
Oh, I mean, I worked. I never missed a day of school though. But during the summer, I would open the bait and tackle shop from 6 to 6 in the morning till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Then I would go over and work the restaurant, washing dishes from 3 to 11 p.m. But I didn't have enough time to ride my bike back to the house.
Right.
So, which was Holly Ridge, because that was a long ass,
Right.
from Surf City. So most of the time I would either go to the pier or sleep in one of the bathrooms outside.
Oh my goodness. So how did these people treat you? I mean, what
Danielle and them, they finally started picking me up and giving me a ride instead, and I would stay with them. But it all started really, I came in one time with my buddy, and his mother came on to me and was like, "Oh, no, you've been with my daughter." And I was like, "Yes, I have." And
how old are you at this time?
13.
13.
Yes, she's 34.
And how old's the mother, for Christ's sake?
No, the mom's 30.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really sleep with her daughter.
Right.
Like, we tried, but it just didn't work out.
So what was your first sexual experience?
I was my first time having sex. I mean, now that I'm older and I look back at it, the first time I had sex was like, you talking about like people molesting you, or
did that occur prior to you having sex? When did the molestation occur?
Well, now that I'm older, my uncle used to play this game with all of us. He would make his homemade chocolate, and what kid doesn't want chocolate, right? We would get these chocolates. He would lay on the couch, and we'd have to try to unzip his pants and play with his penis. Well, to get the chocolate, you had to get him to come. Well, at the time, you don't know that's what you're doing,
right?
But that's how you got the chocolate.
So
goodness. He would act like he's asleep, and the trick is not to wake him up,
right?
And you got to play with it, suck on it, whatever it takes. And sucking on it obviously gets it done faster. And at the time you're a kid, you have no idea that this is right or wrong,
right? And so, did your mother know, or
she didn't know at all, and I didn't start voicing it until I was, I'd say 12.
Wow.
Yeah, 13. And then that's what made me pretty much leave the house. Was my mom would get a bunch of these boyfriends in, and some of them were, one moment, some of them were all right, but most of them were, out to touch us.
Right.
Like, my mom got with this one gentleman that had 5 girls, and that was just horrible because everybody was touching everybody. The 16-year-old was having all of us mess around with each other, and yeah, that was just.
So this couple that you stayed with, what did they do? Did they molest you? Did they require anything from you? Because it's odd.
When I was at Danielle's and whatnot, I used to drink with them a lot. They call me Pound Puppy. We'd play quarters and smoke a lot of crack, really. And they call me Pound Puppy because I would just eat it, lick it. Well, it was really a big orgy, and it was Danielle, Jason, Phil, Wendy. It was just a bunch of older adults and me. And yeah, that's what we would do, all have sex.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you went back home from there, and then when did you leave for good?
During like school time, I'd go back to the house, but I ended up going to a boys' home for a bit, and ended up because you'd go to the boys' home, but they'd still send you to school. So I asked my brothers how they were doing, and has uncle been there a lot? Because I used to get in between my brothers, because my uncle would coach them into the bedroom, and then I'd have to jump in the bed and kick them off the bed. And I finally got tired of arguing with my brothers about stop letting him sneak y'all into the bedroom, like, you know what's going on, you know, and I'm tired of having to get in between it. But how it really started, other than like it happening when we were 4 or 5 or 6 years old on the beach, is my little brother told me that uncle was touching him, and I didn't believe him. And he was like, well, go spend the night at his house. So I spent the night at his house, and nothing happened. You know, the next morning, everything was fine. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning. I walk out the front door, and my uncle had like big macaws. And I go out the front door, and I left the door open. Well, I'm, you know, looking at the sunrise and whatnot, and he starts screaming and grabs me by my hair and drags me up into the house. And then, well, he's 6'4", you know, almost 260 pounds. He's a big boy. And then he just dragged me up and held me up against the wall and ripped my pants down. And,
oh my goodness.
hell yeah.
So
my brother was
what did you do from there?
What did I do from there?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't tell my mother at all. I did talk to Matthew, my brother, and I was like, yeah, bro, you're not lying. We got to stay away from him.
Right.
And then he was coming over so much. And believe it or not, the baseball coach at Dixon High School, his name was Bruce Phillips. He took an interest into my little brother a lot. And he would come over, great guy, seemed like a great guy.
Right.
Well, next thing you know, I'm asleep on the couch. You know, I feel something touching me. I'm like, what in the heck? And it's him.
Oh,
you know, baseball coach, our Cub Scout coach, our soccer coach. And I used to walk to Holly Ridge every single day. Well, I ended up, had this random guy pick me up on the side of I used to walk to Holly Ridge every single day. And a guy picked me up on the side of the road. I used to get a lot of people pick me up on the side of the road, but he picked me up and ended up being a child molester. It actually wasn't until I was in my high 20s and I went to a house on the north end, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I know this older guy. I can't figure out where I know him. And then Bruce Phillips, the baseball coach, walks in. Come to find out, he told him that I walked that street every day and had him pick me up. Shit was crazy.
So who would you say had the biggest impact on your life in the early days?
As in,
you know, what ended up driving you to sex work for a time? You did that for a time.
Yeah, I did it from all the way till I was about 17. Yeah.
And so, what impacted that? What drove you there, as opposed to it was easy money?
Believe it or not, I didn't realize how much money I was actually making then, because I got paid a certain amount every week. It was like $4.62 or something, which a week.
Oh, wow.
And that was it. I used to have a guy that I'd go over to his house, and one time he ends up paying me in cash. He was like, hey, I'm just going to give the money to you. I was maximum in there 13 minutes. You know, $5,000 is what it was costing. Like he gave me the cash, and I was like, oh shit, you know, they're only giving me $400 and something a week, you know, and I'm sleeping with 20, sometimes more people a week, men and women. Again, being molested and whatnot. I didn't know right or wrong. I'm smoking crack, drinking. Yeah. And my mother is just, she has no idea any of this is going on at all.
And so you leave home. Where do you go?
I would just go to their house, her house.
No, how did you end up in the different states? You mentioned Chicago.
Oh, that wasn't until I got a little bit older.
Okay.
I ended up going to Chicago.
And so what was your first arrest?
My first arrest? My first arrest would be, I mean, first time getting in trouble like serious with the law, I was throwing rocks at cars. And I hit the child development
Right.
teacher's car for Topsail High School.
No, of a more serious nature. What was your first serious arrest?
I can't. I know it was something serious because my bus driver ended up putting up her house for me.
Your bus driver?
My bus driver did, yes. Not my mother, not anybody
Why did
else.
she do that?
My bus driver did. And it wasn't even my bus driver, it was my little brother's bus driver. She put her house up for me and got
Why?
me out. I'm trying to think. I want to say that's what it was, throwing that rock in it. Blew in the front of that woman's car, and I got arrested at the school.
Okay, and how many times would you say you've been arrested?
I've been arrested, not proudly, probably 100 times.
Wow. And what were the crimes? What did they range from?
Well, the crazy thing is it's same thing over and over again. It's usually like a FTA. I'd bond out FTA. But
what is FTA?
an FTA is failure to appear.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, like, most of my charges were assault, fighting,
Right.
assault charges, assault inflicting serious bodily injury. No, that's what it was. My first serious one was I was 16 years old, and I was getting a assault inflicting serious bodily injury, attempted murder, and yeah, that's what it was.
Right. What is a lesson that you've learned from a difficult experience, would you say?
What do you mean?
What have you learned? You know, let's say something traumatic happened. Did you learn a lesson from it?
Oh, see,
Or-
that's a good question, actually. I tried to learn, like, for example, being molested. A lot of people, like, I was sleeping with a young lady one time, and I grabbed her throat, and she hit me and was like, you know, hey, I've been raped, and he did this, this, and that. I looked dead at her, and I said, well, I've been raped, you know? I said, you can use it as a crutch for the rest of your life, or you can grow from it, you know? And I tried to grow from everything. For example, like in school, I would draw circles with my left hand so that I could learn to write with my left hand. I learned sign language. I tried to grow from every single day. If you weren't learning something new, it was a wasteful day. But jumping back to my first arrest, believe it or not, it was, I ended up getting it dismissed, self-defense.
So how do you handle like tough times?
Back then, which is crazy, is all the bad and what people would say like bad, you know, like I grew from it, and now I can't figure out how to get out of a hole, you know, like
Right.
where my it's like I lost my fire, my, you know, like when I was 19, I knew I was ready to have kids. I wanted kids. So
How many kids do you have?
I have 9 now.
9?
9.
9 kids?
Yes.
How many mothers?
3.
Whoa.
I really only had 8, and then I just recently found out that I had another one, but
Do you have a relationship with all of them, or what is the?
yes, actually,
Yeah.
believe it or not, I owned my own business by 24. I worked in Chicago, and actually to start my own business, it was an IOU through a buddy of mine, and I was looking for Arlington Heights, North Carolina, but obviously there isn't one. So I ended up going to Chicago. I worked there for 3 years, and they actually helped me start my own business. And at that time, I had 4 or 5 kids at the time. And I met this girl, Tiffany, and that's when it all went downhill. Using drugs real heavy then, and lost everything. I had,
What was your drug of choice?
Heroin.
Uh,
Yeah. Fentanyl, heroin. Actually, believe it or not, at first it was just crack cocaine. I was smoking crack with the dope man lived a few houses down, and I could always maintain like I'd have, let's say I had $400 in my pocket, you know, I could smoke $100 and just be like, all right, that's all I can spend tonight. You know, the bills came first. You know, that was just my play. And anybody who ever uses realizes that there's a difference between fun and not fun. You know, a lot of people are in their fun stages, smoking weed here and there, or doing a little meth or this or that, or snorting cocaine, for example. You know, everybody has some fun stages until you're hooked on it. Then it's no longer fun. It becomes, that's when reality kicks in, and it's a demon all in its own.
so who was the love of your life, and where did you meet her? Was it a girl or guy or?
Believe it or not, to stop me from prostituting and all that stuff I was doing, I actually met this girl named Hillary Myers. We were in a marching band together. She was a little band geek. She came up to me one day randomly and just gave me the sloppiest, weirdest kiss ever. And I was hooked from there on out. And it's just crazy. She played saxophone, I played trumpet. And I ended up moving in there with them. We saw Richard Gere and all stuff, you know, when he came down to Sneeds Ferry. But she ended up getting pregnant. Now, I obviously was her first. And her parents, when she told me that she was pregnant, she didn't know what to do. And I called my mother. And my mother told me to talk to her parents. And she didn't want to, but I did. And at first they were okay until they asked me a question. It just...
What was the question?
The question was, what are you going to do? Like college or work?
How
or
old
whatnot?
were you?
I was 17.
Wow.
Yep, 17. Well, it's not my first time getting someone pregnant. When I was 13, the first time I ever had like sex, like I should say sex with somebody I wanted to have sex with and I wasn't being paid or something like that for, was Ashley Charbonneau behind Dixon High School. I was 13, she was 14. It was the most embarrassing thing ever, but because I was nervous, which I was never nervous, which is funny.
Right.
And it was just, everything could have went bad, and she got pregnant, but she had a miscarriage.
So what is a moment in your life that you'll never forget?
Never forget a moment in my life. My I don't know, there's a bunch of them actually.
Give me one.
Coming home, I got 6 kids. 4 of them haven't got off the bus yet. I got 2 in the car with me. I see my front door kicked in. I'm like, oh God. Now, mind you, I'm not even thinking that my 2 trucks and the vehicles out front are missing. And at the time, I had 10 adults and 6 kids in the house. And the adults are going through probably 10 bags of a piece of heroin a day, which, you know, is $20 a bag. I mean, you add that up. It's just, it was nuts. And
wait a minute, back up. You had 10 adults living in your house?
Yeah, Tiffany wanted to bring her parents in. And when her parents came down, it was the grandma, their aunt and uncle, and then her friend Lindsay and her man. And it was just crazy. And just me working. All them get checks and stuff, but they were all blowing it on.
So why was your door kicked in?
Because she and her ex-husband and the family ended up taking everything that was there that they could have valued and took it to Ohio and sold it for dope.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. So I'm sitting there with the kids, and the other kids haven't even got off the bus yet. And I'm like, fuck. Well, as I went into the house, I took the kids over to the neighbors real quick so that I could look at the house. And the neighbor was like, yeah, don't worry, I'll get this. Well, as I'm inside looking around and whatnot, I come back out and the car's gone.
Oh my.
The neighbor said, your wife just came by and grabbed the car.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
So, what advice would you give your younger self?
My younger self. What's crazy is I want to say that I would tell me the best thing I could tell my younger self would be I wouldn't have chased her. When I chased her,
What do you mean, chaser? What do you mean?
I chased her as in I didn't hold. My kids weren't more important than she was, and they should have been. And by that I mean like I should have held my job. Which after everything got taken from me, I could have went back to. I couldn't figure out how to go to Chicago and work doing that, and then where the kids were going to go at the same time. I don't know what I would tell my younger self. Not to give up.
What would you change?
What would I change? I wouldn't change anything. Then my kids wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have the knowledge I have today. Whether my placement right now is in good or not, but a lot of people say that. I don't know if you've ever heard it. Don't you wish you could have the knowledge you have now, and go back in time? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can. You have the knowledge now. You just have to.
Well, I suppose this question, you've answered it in a way, but what is your biggest regret?
My biggest regret. My biggest regret is giving up. I gave up somewhere. You know, I let the drugs control me and take over me. And yeah, that'd be my biggest regret.
And so let's shoot forward to now.
Like now I'm 37 years old. I don't have a pot to piss in. My mother's got my kids right now. I'm finally going to get off parole, which is phenomenal. And I'm still battling this
addiction. But
right.
You're doing something about it, right? When do you go to rehab?
I go to rehab on the 7th.
The 7th of this month?
Correct, in a few days.
And all this time, I mean, I talked to you prior to this, and you told me you'd been on probation for 19 years, which is an awfully long time.
I have.
Why was that? Well, 19 years is a long ass time.
It actually took them 7 years to hit me with my first violation. They gave me a bond and I bonded out. And at first it was low. It was like 8,000-9,000. And then it doubles every time. Well, I'd be gone for 2 years. They caught me. They'd extradite me back here. And then they double my bond. Well, I'd bond out again and run. Bond out again and run. So my last bond I paid was $13,000 cash to a bondsman to get out. And then I said, well, shoot, let's deal with this.
Right. And so what's the situation now? You were recently arrested. I thought they were going to keep you in.
No, that was well, when you're
what happened there?
When you're on parole, they you have to see somebody within 7 days.
Right.
So they saw me in the 7th day, and then they said she asked me a bunch of questions, and they're very thorough. And I had a violation for curfew.
Mm-hmm.
Being past curfew, and
then you tested positive
for methamphetamines and fentanyl.
Yeah, I was surprised at that, because normally when you go to your probation people and you test positive, they keep you right then and there. But they let you out. It was weird.
Believe it or not, it was probation does that. Parole, they give you a chance. Now, when you pop for anything like fentanyl or heroin,
mm-hmm.
they usually don't let you go. But he let me go and said that he was gonna leave it up to parole board. No, what he was doing was giving me a chance. And because I had been honest with them, and my
Right.
track record had changed. Usually I'm a runner, bullshit and whatnot, and I was completely honest with them. I called them up, told them that I used, and that I need more help, and he respected that. But then I broke curfew, and that was it for me. The parole woman said that if she sees my face again, I will be going to prison. So I do this 90, and I'll finally be off parole for the first time in
19 years, right?
yes. And believe it or not, that's a big factor in it too. It keeps pulling me back here to the people and the places I don't want to be around.
Right.
And
Where do you want to? How do you foresee your future now?
all my kids are in Indiana with my mother right now, and that's a lot on a 64-year-old woman.
Right.
And it puts a weight on their marriage too.
Right.
And best man I've ever met is her husband.
Mhm.
Now I wish he was there when we were growing up. I see our life so much different. So I'll actually be able to provide support, do all those things up there. And
Do you think, how many times have you been to rehab?
once.
Only once.
Yeah, 2 years.
Right. And do you think this will work? This will help? This will get you on track? What do you think?
Well, see, everybody has clean time. Clean time is like sitting in jail, sitting in prison, or something like that. You get clean time. Clean time is nothing. It's if you don't change your behaviors, or break a habit, make a habit, a routine. Because when you're you're out there running the streets, you forget how to go out and eat, family functions, things like that. Like your norm changes. So your normal everyday activity becomes completely different. Something that other people would find frightening or even like outrageously scary would be an actual a normal day for you. And that shouldn't be normal, seeing somebody, die or being raped or whatnot. That becomes, believe it or not.
So, what are some of the cool things you've done in your life?
Cool things?
Yeah.
Some of the cool things. Soccer. Every day was something different because I was there with my kids until not too long ago is when I really started messing up, and I just went ghost. To be honest, I didn't talk to anyone.
Was there a trigger? Was there something that made you do that, or you just said fuck it one day?
Well, see, what I was doing is Tiffany was using so much, and I figured, well, shoot, if I start using some of hers, she won't do as much. Bad thought process, because all that happened is she grew an addiction, which she already had. I just grew an addiction, and I was not aware about how serious it could really be. Like it takes complete control of you. Like I watched a 30-something-year-old, a marriage of somebody for 30-something years, and his wife's sitting there dying on the ground. She's OD'd, and all he can think about is getting the drugs out of her tits. And what's crazy is because he's so worried about that, I wasn't paying attention.
Wait a minute, hold up. Getting the drugs out, how does that?
She had dope in her titties, and instead of sitting there giving her mouth,
okay.
I'm sitting giving chest compressions, and I wasn't paying attention. But for 8 minutes, her tongue was stuck in her throat. I always closed the mouth and breathe in the nostrils, so you don't mess up. He's blowing in there, and I'm not paying attention that her chest is not rising and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And when the ambulance finally gets called, he runs because he has misdemeanor warrants. I got out-of-state felony warrants. I didn't leave, and she ended up dying.
Oh my!
Yep. And
do you have Narcan?
Narcan?
Narcan.
We didn't have any.
No. Do you have it now?
No. Narcan.
Narcan.
Narcan. No. No.
Okay. Well, we're going to end this. You're going to rehab the 7th. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Mhm.
And I wish you the very best. I hope this takes hold and that you can get your life back on track. And what are your plans when you get out?
I'll be off parole, so I won't have that kind of weight on me. But I still have to take the steps of finding a good sponsor, support team around me. But I'll be able to move now
Right.
and get away from. Again, it doesn't matter what area you go to, you're gonna find it. You have to be strong enough to walk away from it.
Do you think you're strong enough, or do you think you will be after this?
See, when I was out of town, when I was like this last time I ran, before I finally said fuck it, I want to get this all dealt with. I thought I had it in the bag. 2 years clean, doing great. Because I went to Trosa, best thing you could ever do. Graduated there. When I left there, I was clean for 18 months after that. So that's 3 years and some change. 6 months, 3.5 years. I was doing good, and I was like, you know what? I'm tired of running. Let's go back, handle all this. Believe it or not, I thought I wasn't even on probation. I just figured it would get thrown away. I was in Indiana, and I got the kids there. I got a job, and everything's going well. And I get a little notification on my phone. It says, because I used to mobile patrol myself. It says I got a warrant out for my arrest. And I looked at it and called down here, and they said, yeah, we were going to take you off probation, but Pender thought you were with Durham. Durham thought you were with Onzo, and Onzo thought you were at Pender. And then they ended up activating my time for 28 months. And now I'm out on parole, and I've slipped up a few times already being out on, I mean, shoot, look at my face, And
Yeah.
I got high the other day, and the whole time I'm sitting there thinking like, you fucking idiot. There's not even there's no benefit of it. The fun time's over. There's nothing fun about it. There was no reason
Right.
at all to even do it.
Right.
Yeah. But
in the future,
the minute you think you got it in the bag is the minute you're going to slip up.
right. But when you after this rehab stint, how long are you going for?
I'm going for 90 days, which I don't believe is really long enough for anybody. But
that 90 days takes you off parole, and
it takes me off parole and everything.
Frees you up.
Correct. And then I can go back to where I was comfortable at, in a good routine with a good support system. My kids are there.
And where is that? Indiana?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I went, like I said, 3.5 years there.
Right.
Fine. So
Right.
I hope I can get back to that.
Yeah. I hope you do too. Yes. And I hope this works for you. And thank you so much for being so frank and honest. And I wish you the very best.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.